This is Fritz Frivolous with continuous live coverage of the corner of Curious Lane and Just Because Boulevard, the epicenter of the alien invasion. And this just in, King Kong is fighting the Mobile Suit Gundam. And of course, all of this is happening amidst World War IV, making it pure pandemonium. If only Captain Planet were still alive to save us all. Dude, could you imagine? Crack 6 cold eggs into a deep saucepan. Add the butter. Put the pan on high heat. Stir continuously with a rubber spatula. Don't whisk, making sure to scrape the bottom of the pan. After 30 seconds, take the pan off the heat. Keep stirring. After about 10 seconds, put the pan back on the heat. Repeat for 3 minutes. In the last minute, season the eggs lightly. For extra creamy texture, stir in 1 teaspoon of creme fraiche. Plate and garnish with chopped chives. This is just one of many recipes from MasterChef Gordon Ramsay. But what if you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life? What would you eat? Let us place our order with our 2 master chefs, Will and Tom, as they try to cook up an answer. Welcome everybody, I'm Tom Case.
And I'm Will Stark.
Will, so I think I told you recently that I had a little bit of food poisoning, which wasn't good. It wasn't fun.
You did.
Right?
You know, never fun.
Yeah. But because of that, I did start thinking of this question, which is, what if you could only have one meal for the rest of your life?
So when you say that, you mean like the same meal every single day?
So you know what? Let's establish parameters because we all love parameters, and I think we need them.
We do.
So the parameters are: you get 1 appetizer, 1 entree with 2 sides, and 1 dessert with 1 drink. Water is unlimited.
So it's a full course.
So yeah, it's a full course. Wow. And you're gonna eat, but this must be eaten breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You get no snacks, and they all have to be either cooked by yourself or be cooked for you from the same restaurants, and you cannot have any variations to the meal.
Okay.
So like if your meal involves chicken, you can't be like, oh, one time I want grilled chicken, another time I want fried chicken.
Right,
no, you
right.
cannot
It has to be
do
specific.
That. Specific one
recipes.
Yeah.
Okay.
One,
2 more questions. Can I make stuff ahead of time? Can I like prep my meals for the week?
Yeah, you could prep them. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And also too, just to let you know, if you don't get to like how would you say, you can't hold anything over if you don't eat something from from one meal of the day. Yeah, no leftovers.
My other question is, can I skip a meal if I don't want? If I just I don't feel like making this right now, I'll skip lunch and I'll make it at dinner time.
Yeah, let's say okay. If you do that, basically you're just skipping a whole meal. You're only going to get breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
no
I skip
snacks.
Lunch, I just don't eat. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But if I don't feel like cooking, I'm just not going to eat till dinner. That's fine.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's go back to the original parameters. You said 1 appetizer,
1 entree with 2 sides.
With 2 sides.
And I know that sometimes some people we'll talk about it. If you say something and I'm like, that's not a side, like we'll decide what's what.
We'll hash out what sides are.
And then you also get 1 dessert with 1 drink. It could be any drink. Uh-huh. However, water is unlimited. So you could have as much water as you want.
Water is going to be my answer.
I know, right? Water would you would not even pick another drink?
If I only got 1 and water wasn't unlimited, yes, water is definitely going to be my 1 drink.
No. Oh, I thought you meant, no. I thought you said, well, water's going to be my only choice. Like you wouldn't pick another besides the water.
If I get a free other one.
Yeah, you do get 1 free other drink.
Okay, let's start with the drink because I'm thinking utility here. Okay. And I'm not living on some weird isolated island. I'm still living my normal life, right?
This is your normal life. Yeah. Nothing else changed except for this.
Okay, So coffee. Coffee has got to be my other drink.
Oh, really?
So that I can have caffeine when I need. I could still. I mean, honestly, that's all I drink now. All I drink is water and coffee anyway, so it works for me. But
I'm sorry.
Oops.
Oh no,
Siri's trying to listen in on this.
So coffee is my drink, not because I'm going to drink it with most of my meals necessarily, but because in the morning, if I need coffee, I can have coffee. In the evening, if I need some coffee because I got work to do, I can have some coffee.
That's very smart.
I drink water with most of my meals anyway, so easy for me. What about you? Like, let's go back and forth. What's your
You
drink?
know what? I think because people who know me know that my life's blood is soda. So I would have to have probably, like, if this was going to be something where
Your
I can
life's
only have
blood.
it, it's going to be
What's
probably
soda?
cherry Dr. Pepper.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I
That's
think-
very specific. I almost feel like that's too specific, and you will get so sick of that.
You would think, right?
I
But
would think so.
I drink
Like,
cherry Dr.
I
Pepper a lot.
drink 5 glasses a day, Will. You don't even know.
Yeah, like I
You really think you wouldn't get sick of it after 10 years?
I mean, probably. Like, it realistically, after that much time, I think I probably would. But
probably
it would
see
take a
anything.
while. Like
Okay.
a normal person
Cherry
would get
Dr.
tired of that
Pepper.
quickly. And me, I would drink that and be happy for a long time.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Appetizer. See, and I have to make it myself. That's where you got me, because I was immediately thinking entree pizza. But I was like, do I really want to make pizza 3 times a day every day?
Yeah, well, you either have to cook... Oh, sorry. I don't know why this is stupid. Let me take my watch
Yeah,
out.
just chuck the watch out the room, man.
I know. Yeah. Whack. So, okay. Yes, one of the parameters is it has to be either cooked... you have to cook it yourself, or you have to get it from the same restaurant. So, just for example, like if you always wanted, I don't know, some kind of like...
Oh, wait. So we can get something from a place?
Yes.
I feel like we shouldn't have that parameter.
Oh, you want to take that out?
Like
it has to be cooked from...
Yeah,
Okay.
I think because otherwise it just gets...
I added
too
that
easy.
in there because I know some people don't cook, or for some reason can't
and
cook.
for
maybe.
them, this is a tough question.
I know,
Learn to cook. What are you doing?
I know, right? Like, too bad for you. It's either learn or you're going to die starving.
Yeah, exactly that. Okay.
But okay, yeah. So we'll take that out then for
So
us.
appetizer, I make a really good salsa, and chips and salsa is a good snack any time of day, including in the mornings. I think, and I can make chips, just take some tortillas and deep fry them, so I can still fit that into making it myself idea. I'm going with chips and salsa for my appetizer. I'll never get sick of chips and salsa. And
Wow.
it's just my appetizer, so.
That's a good choice.
Oh, you think so?
I'm thinking now because, so what I put for mine is a buttered English muffin with jam on it, a little bit of jam on it.
Yeah.
Which I've only said that now because, I was thinking about it, and I've been recently eating that a lot, during breakfast.
Yeah. It's a pleasant little meal, isn't it?
Now, yes, it is. And then now when you said chips and salsa, I'm like, oh, but that kind of, I don't think I would get tired as fast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
but I'm also trying to think of, what can I make? I do make a really good salsa. I'm not bragging. It is legitimately very good. I probably won't get sick of it. It'll be good. And it's not too hard to make. It's the entree, man. This entree is going to kill me.
well, now that you said that, you're going to have to make me some.
I'll make you some of my
I'll have to
salsa,
make
for
some
sure.
myself.
My sister makes way better salsa than I make, and I make good salsa. So
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get her to make her specialty one for you. But anyways, the entree kills me. So I pride myself in making a mean breakfast, which isn't a tough skill to handle, But
Before you answer, I think you and I are gonna have a similar thought on this.
okay. But my problem is and it's not that I would get sick of breakfast necessarily, but I mean, eventually I will. I guess I'll get sick of whatever I choose. I need more variety than maybe breakfast. Or do I?
See, that's what my dilemma was. I know about all these meals, right?
Yeah.
And I was trying to think to myself, but what would I get tired of the least, right? Because that's the biggest problem I see with this question.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and I first was going to say chicken fried steak with gravy because I love breakfast food.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, dude, I love breakfast.
But-
I'm a diehard hash browns.
Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. And actually, to be honest, okay, so let me just tell you my one entree with 2 sides.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I originally wrote down chicken fried steak with gravy, right? 3 eggs over easy, and hash browns. However,
I'm so hungry right now.
before we started recording, I was looking at that. I know you're hungry. I'm hungry too, and I'm thinking of this. So before we started recording, I was going over that, and I changed it. It's not going to be chicken fried steak.
Okay.
I'm going to have to go with a ribeye.
Okay, you know what? I think we're ending up in the same place. Not
Yeah.
because of the same reason, though. But I was thinking about my protein needs and all this other stuff. And I was thinking steak. I could probably cook steak every single day and not really get that sick of it.
No.
And I was going in a different direction for my side because now I'm pulling away from breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
I make a mean potato salad. You've had it.
Ooh, that is good. You are right. It is
salad.
a good potato
That's
salad.
going to be one of my sides. Potato salad and steak. And now I need to get some sort of nutrient in me where I don't die of fucking scurvy. So
you know what? See, but we do have similar thoughts on that because I switched it to the steak not just because I love steak, and because I can cook it well. But I was thinking like, well, if I'm gonna be like, if I have chicken fried steak with gravy on it and I'm eating that breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'm probably gonna die very young. You know what I mean? Like it's just not. Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong, steak is bad to have every day too.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of like, well, I'm going to need protein. I was trying to think of what will give me things that I could, go throughout the day very long, to have all the nutrients I need.
I think my other side I've decided right now, and I'm going with a spinach-based salad with black olives, tomatoes, croutons. Do I get a dressing?
Yeah, stuff like that. Like my
like
condiments.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Those are like.
So I'll spice it up with whatever condiment I choose. What other veggies do I need in there? Onions, for flavor, and
onions are definitely good.
I'm trying to think. I'm bad with vegetables. I don't like most of them, and the ones I do like are not necessarily the best ones for me. But I do love spinach. That's why I went with spinach-based salad.
Yeah, I have no vegetables in mine. Well, wait a minute. I have hash browns. Are potatoes vegetables? They're vegetables.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
I know. Starch. Yeah, there's starch. Yeah, I don't have any.
I'm trying to think. What else should I throw in?
Fuck vegetables.
I got cherry tomatoes for my vitamin C in the salad. And it's a spinach-based salad. You know what? I'm just going to keep it simple. So, spinach-based salad with croutons, cherry tomatoes, onions, black olives, and that'll be that. That'll be so. I get steak, potato salad, and a nice veggie salad.
Which dressing though?
Like ranch is obviously the one that I like the taste of, but I don't need to be eating ranch every damn day. Like, what is this? Maybe a vinaigrette.
Okay. You're definitely going to outlive me with this diet over mine.
Yeah. I'm coffee and water, chips and salsa. Dude, this sounds like a really fucking good meal to me right now. I
know, dude. I feel like, can I make this when I go home?
And so we come to dessert.
Yes.
And I would like to hear what you're going to make for your dessert.
So my dessert is something that I believe I can make. I've seen videos on it. I haven't tried it, though. I haven't tried making it.
This is a risky choice, then.
Well, yeah, it does look a little simple. However, as soon as I got to the dessert, I knew 100%, 1 second it came out of my mouth. I knew what it was. It was apple crumble with 1 scoop of vanilla ice cream. I love that.
Yeah, shit's bomb. That's a great choice. Choice. This is tough for me.
Oh, really?
Because I'm not great at making a lot of different desserts type stuff. I'm not much of a baker. I obviously don't know how to make ice cream. I know you're going with just store-bought ice cream, which I think is fair, but...
Yeah. Well, in all fairness, I never thought about that. If we're technically making these, I would have to make my own vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but those things, it's just...
And everything I've chosen so far, I literally can make.
Yeah.
From raw ingredients.
True.
So, I'm sticking to that.
I better see that spinach garden out in the back of your backyard.
So, I think for dessert, which, the thing about dessert is I don't have to have it. That's the thing is, I can skip it. And
yeah, you don't.
So I can go the extra mile and make my dessert when I'm really having that sweet tooth. And make me work for the calories. I like that idea. So now let me get a little fancier with it.
Yeah, these are the type of things where, it always sounds good. I definitely eat with my eyes, and so when I'm thinking of food, I'm imagining it in my head. And, it always blocks my more sensible thoughts of you're going to need, your vitamins. You're going to need your vitamin C.
Okay, I think I've come to it. It's going to be simple, but since I do got to make them from scratch, I'm going to have to learn to get real good at it. But I'm sure over the course of years of eating the same dessert as my only dessert, I'll really pin it down. Chocolate chip almond cookies.
Oh, those are good.
That's what I'm going with. Just a simple, I'll never get sick of it. Like, whenever I want a sweet tooth, a chocolate chip almond cookie that I've made from scratch, like, it'll hit my spot real good.
That does sound good,
So,
actually.
that's my forever meal. If I'm forced to make my own forever meal every single day.
So, recap. Your appetizer would be?
Chips and salsa.
And mine is buttered English muffin with some jam. Mm-hmm. Your entree?
Would be steak. I haven't decided what kind of steak. And to be fair, like, I'm not too familiar with all the different cuts. Yeah,
I mean, you know what? There's always three main cuts, right? There's your porterhouse, which is basically like your ribeye and I don't know if it's filet mignon. Mm-hmm. I think a filet mignon is its own special cut.
It is,
but porterhouse is like your T-bone, right? It has two sides of the cut.
Yeah, all right.
You get a little bit of both.
Yes,
right. Actually, I said 3. I meant 4 because you do have filet mignon.
Yeah,
right. So
that's porterhouse.
So you have filet mignon, porterhouse, ribeye, and New York strip.
What's a New York strip exactly?
So New York strip, it's less fatty. I mean, I think it's a little bit more lean than, let's say, your ribeye, which is marbled with that good old fat. You know what I mean? The stuff that makes your mouth water, right? Yeah. That's, it's the kind that you see that's kind of like, I don't know, maybe the shape of like your palm, kind of.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's like that. But yeah, those are the main 4.
I think I'm going to go with the New York strip.
New York strip.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the New York strip. With my sides being my homemade potato salad and a nice spinach veggie salad with all the variable veggies that I named. What were your sides again?
Mine, it's going to be the ribeye steak, and then the sides are the 3 eggs over easy and the hash browns. Yeah, I'm not changing those
so
because
good,
I know, right?
You're going to die. I know, 10 years.
But I'm going to die with a smile on my face.
You're eating 3 steaks, 9 eggs, and 3 servings of hash browns a day.
Well, no,
with some buttered bread before it all.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I may not do that. I may not have all of them all the time. Maybe I might have the breakfast part.
That's a lot of grease.
I might have the 3 eggs and the hash browns.
3 solid cups of grease a day. My God. All right, dessert.
So
what was your dessert again?
Give me the grease.
You said apple crumble with a
scoop of apple crumble with a scoop of vanilla ice cream.
And I went with chocolate chip cookies with some diced almonds in them.
I do have some interesting Fritz facts here.
Oh, wait. What was your drinks? Oh, you went with
the cherry Dr. Pepper.
And I went with coffee.
And obviously water, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think the soda, too, soda even has more caffeine than the coffee.
Yeah, but
right?
I'm trying not
but
to
the
kill
coffee's
myself.
not. Yeah, I know.
Because you're drinking. I don't know how many glass you're trying.
I'm taking a nosedive into the grave here. You know what I mean?
All right. What Fritz facts
my gravy grave. Uh-huh. That's basically.
I can't wait. Everyone listening to this, please let us know what your meal is. I can't wait to read all the different meals. That
I am hoping for that. When I thought of this question, I was like, man, I really hope people chime in with what they would have as their meal, but I know what's going to happen. I'm going to read them, and I'm probably going to be like, "Oh, that sounds good. I'm going to try to make that." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
So, recipes are welcome too, guys.
Indeed.
So yeah, I actually was able to find some interesting Fritz facts for stuff about food.
Okay.
So there's a thing called Michelin stars, and they're considered. You've heard of that?
Yeah, restaurants are rated with Michelin stars.
Oh, see, I didn't know. Yeah, and they're considered like one of the highest honors in the culinary industry.
Yeah. I think you can be 1, 2, or 3, right?
I think it's 5.
Did it go up to 5?
So.
Okay,
it might be.
I thought 3 was the limit, but I don't know.
Right now, though, like there's a chef named Alain Ducasse. I think that's how you say his last name. Ducasse.
Okay.
Right now, he has 17, which makes him the current living chef with the most of the Michelin stars. He has 36 restaurants across the globe.
Oh, wow.
That's like, I don't know how
Not all of them have a Michelin star.
Yeah, probably not. You know what? It did, when I was reading on, it did say he has 3 of his restaurants within the same, I think, city all have Michelin stars.
Wow.
Yeah. I know. I was like, geez, that's like,
interesting.
I wonder how you even manage an empire like that. 36 restaurants across the globe.
I have no idea, but have you seen the movie Chef?
Yes, I love that movie.
I watched that the other day.
Jon Favreau,
my fiance. I love
that movie. Yeah. You know what? He actually has a Netflix series where he's with the guy he made the movie about, and they go around to different restaurants.
Oh, really?
And they'll go to the owner of these restaurants, and they'll like talk shop, what, how they make the foods, why they're doing this and everything. And they'll like make a recipe or whatever that restaurant specializes in.
I have to watch this show.
You do. It makes me and my wife so hungry every time we watch it.
I like everything he does. And, he really is super into cooking in real life. And like, he posts on Reddit a lot. He's a Dodgers fan, so he posted in the Dodgers subreddit. I think it was before the 2017 World Series. Yeah. He was like showing off his Cuban sandwiches that he just made before watching the game.
Really?
I was just like, those look bomb. Oh shit, that's Jon Favreau.
Yeah, dude. He was actually making food and getting other people like ScarJo, Scarlett Johansson, and when they were filming all the Avengers movies, like he was really getting them like into that too.
Oh, that's cool.
Like they were saying how he was making food for them sometimes. And they would be
man.
Like, yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, dude.
What else you got?
So, also, let's see. Everyone has different amount of taste buds, and they average between 2,000 to 10,000 taste buds.
Okay.
And, that doesn't seem too, like, wow. But, like, it says that they can be found on the roof and walls of your mouth, throat, and esophagus. I thought that was weird. I wouldn't think you would have any taste buds around the esophagus.
Oh, no, man. Sometimes I get some nar heartburn, and I can taste that in the
really?
back of my throat. Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought about that. That's kind of gross. You know what I mean, though? No, but I know what you're talking about. It's like...
It absolutely is.
You get those, what I call verps, where you have a vomit and burp at the same time. Oh,
absolutely.
God. You taste with your brain, and here's how this goes. This is how complicated.
I mean,
imagine
you do everything with your brain, but okay.
Well, yes, yeah. But but this shows how quickly these things happen. Yeah. Okay, imagine, what was your... what was it, a chocolate chip cookie?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So imagine taking a bite of this chocolate chip cookie. First, the cranial nerves and taste bud receptors in your mouth send molecules of food to the olfactory nerve endings in the roof of your nose. Then the molecules bind to these nerve endings, which then signal the olfactory bulb to send smell messages directly to two important cranial nerves: the facial nerve and the glossopharyngeal nerve, which communicate with the part of the brain known as the gustatory cortex. As taste and nerve messages move further through the brain, they join up with smell messages to give the sensation of flavor, which feels as if it's coming from the mouth.
Right.
All of that happening within,
split second.
Split second.
All your signals traveling at the speed of light.
It all explains, too, why, like, I don't know if anyone out there has difficulty smelling, like with the sense of smell, but if you do have a poor sense of smell, it also actually affects your sense of taste as well. As you know, back in the day, they had food. Well, even nowadays, they still have food testers, and people who tested drinks were called cupbearers. And they were used in ancient times, or that's when they were started to use
poisoning.
Yeah, exactly. One noted in history was for Roman Emperor Claudius, who was.
I remember Claudius.
Yeah,
I wasn't there, but I know Claudius. Yes.
Yeah. you know him personally, right?
No, not personally.
Like you showed me that picture.
I think Claudius was a much better emperor than people give him credit for. That's all I'm going to say. Keep going.
Okay. Well, he was still killed by poison, even after having a food tester named Halotus. And that was around 54 AD. Hitler had a food tester named Margot Volk, who tried Hitler's food every morning at 8 a.m. And if she did not fall ill, they would bring the food to Hitler's military headquarters. And most recently, the President of the United States, or former President Obama, was known to employ food testers as well.
Yeah, I would be surprised if they all didn't. Like,
I know, right?
I would.
Yeah, that would be weird because, like, you're a leader of the free country. You know what I mean?
Like
a
target.
Free,
it's like all my food.
And then the other thing that I always thought about with meals is people who are on death row.
Oh yes, final meals.
Yeah, death row last meals, or actually what they call them now. They renamed it. They call them their special meal.
What?
Right? I know. It's like, here's your special meal before you die.
I mean, we are talking about people who are being put to death because they did horrible things.
Yeah.
But still, you're like infantilizing them. Here's your special meal, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too.
I don't even fucking want it!
I know. Like, I'm dying tomorrow. Like, here's your special meal, buddy. Okay. But so death row last meals or special meals, they vary between states. Usually given like 1 to 2 days before the execution.
Right, because they find that we usually have trouble eating if it's the day of.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Which, who wouldn't?
Yeah. Also, alcohol and tobacco are usually denied but they're not always denied. And that also, it depends on the state.
Yeah, from my understanding, most states have stopped with the final meal request just because most of them were so outlandish that they don't even bother.
Yeah, actually, you know what?
Was that the next thing you're going to say?
Well, not the next thing. Like, if they order anything unorthodox or that's unavailable, they just replace it with some similar substitute.
Right.
I kind of found that disappointing because if you know you're going to die and you're like, I wanted this specific thing.
I wanted KFC. This is Popeye.
Yeah, like, I hate that. You know, I mean, that's so sad that I mean, you know, they did probably do something horrible to deserve death. So, you know, whatever. But like,
no one deserves to be given Popeyes when they expect
KFC, man. Come on. This episode brought to you by No, just okay, so here's what you brought up. In 2011, Texas abandoned the last meal for death row inmates after killer Lawrence Russell Brewer placed a large order of 2 chicken fried steaks, a pound of barbecue, and some other food items, and then he never ate any of it.
Yeah.
Like... You know what I mean? Like, after that, it's just a waste of good food. Yeah. Like, you know, they spent all that money, you have all that money, and he just didn't eat it.
Yeah.
You know? The only thing it didn't say was if he chose not to eat it, like, as a last fuck you type thing. Or if he was sick or something. Or if he was just sick and just couldn't. Because, like, you know you're going to die. Like
my understanding, or what I would expect is that he must have, like, maliciously not eaten it. But then again, you never know. Maybe it was just honestly, he just couldn't eat for whatever given reason. You're right. Like, he was about to be put to death. So,
But, dude, could you imagine?
Breaking news, a new study suggests leaving an iTunes review is very important for newly created podcasts. So to nurture your new favorite podcast, make sure to leave an iTunes review. This has been Fritz Frivolous, reminding you to like, comment, and subscribe. Will and Tom, back to you.
You're walking down the street and you see you walk past you. Someone bumps into you and it's you. You hear a familiar voice behind you ask, "Do you have the time?" When you turn around, you see, well, you. Are these all unknown twins you just happened to run into? Or clones from some government experiment? And how would you know if you are the original and not one of these clueless clones? Let us attend a lecture from 2 of the world's best biochemists, Will and Tom, as they splice genes to find an answer. And we're back.
Indeed.
So, this one's going to be a little weird. I know I was telling you that this second question I wanted to pose to you is probably going to... I don't know if it'll throw you for a loop, but...
All right.
I'm just going to come out with it.
I'm here for it.
William.
Oh, God.
What if you were a clone?
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, imagine you have parameters. Yes. What are the parameters of this cloning?
Here are the parameters. You receive documentation from another William Stark.
Okay.
And it shows evidence that you were a part of a covert government experiment involving cloning.
Okay.
And that this is other William Stark, or I'm sorry, and this other William Stark is the original.
Okay.
So, what I'm basically going, I was like, what would you do? Would you try to contact William Prime?
No.
And, you would not even try to contact him? Would you tell family or friends?
Okay. Does this mean I'm going to die sooner? Let's start there.
No, not necessarily.
Okay, so I'm a perfect clone. I'm going to live a full human life.
Well, we don't know if you're a perfect clone, okay. but you're...
So, I'm also to understand that my parents probably lied to me, and I'm not, I wasn't, born from them.
Yeah, I was thinking about how that would work, and that's probably the most likely of events, because there's no other way that they're, you know what I mean? Unless they knew about it, you're their... the original William Prime was their child.
Okay. That would be bizarre. Also, why did they give me the same name? Can't he be Billiam or something? I don't know. Billiam. Just changed. Why would they name me the exact same thing as William Prime? True. My next question is my sister actually my sister? You know what I mean? My sibling? Because we look enough alike.
Yes, your sister is William Prime's sister.
So where the fuck was he? Is my question. Where the fuck were you, bro?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Would you try to would you try to reach out to him? Would you want to try to get?
I have no interest. I'm living my own life. I'm my own person. regardless of my genetics, I have no interest in this other William.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, why would I?
See, that's interesting because when I was thinking about this question, there's actually, I'm a huge fan of Star Trek The Next Generation. And there's an episode where William Riker, right, he's number one, right, played by Jonathan Frakes.
That's our man.
Yeah, Jonathan Frakes is our man, definitely. There's an episode where he finds out that it wasn't a clone because of like an experiment, but what happened was when he was serving on a ship prior to the Enterprise, he had to abandon ship and they had to transport him out of there at the last second. But what ended up happening was there was something wrong when they transported him and a perfect copy was left on that ship. And they thought that ship was destroyed, but it wasn't. It was just floating around. So that copy of William Riker survived. So while, the other William Riker was saved and now he's, commander of the Enterprise. So it was funny when they finally got a distress signal because this other William Riker, actually he takes the middle name, so Thomas Riker. Oh, okay. Yeah, so he takes the middle name. So Thomas Riker, he had to survive on this ship and he had to do everything he could in order to survive. And finally they come across this distress beacon and they go to this ship and they find that he survived and it's him. So when they find out what happened, Thomas Riker felt a little jaded because he felt like his life was cheated. He was cheated out of his life. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And he saw all the accomplishments and all the things that William Riker got to do and become and have in his life, But yeah,
he was stranded.
Yeah, ultimately they resolve their issues and he decides to go on and live his own life and do what he wanted to do. Yeah, and that's when he adopts the name Thomas Riker.
So I guess I got a question here. Like, where is my prime? Like, is he trapped in a laboratory? Do I need to rescue him? Like, what did the cloning process happen willingly? Did it happen when we were babies? Are we the same age?
Yes, it happened when you're babies. So you guys are roughly the same age. Okay. And I'm going to say that now when since I said that he contacted you, right, and he sent you this evidence, this government experiment technically is over. Okay. And so they're not going to claim it. You know what I mean? They're going to hide, behind all their bureaucratic bullshit that they do. Okay. So, so you don't know. That's why I'm asking if you would contact him. You don't know. It doesn't say where it came from.
Under what circumstances he contacted me? He's like, please
help. He wanted you to know. Yeah, so William Prime wants you to know. He wants you to know that there was this experiment going on and you are the product of this experiment and that you are not, or that you are the clone and you are not the original.
Right. But I might as well be the original because I lived the original's life and the original had a completely different other life.
That is true.
It doesn't really change the fact that my parents or my family's my family and my friends are my friends and my life was my life. Like, I wasn't an imposter. I was always just me. And whoever they were supposed to be in my place would have probably been someone different, but they didn't get that chance. They're living some other life. So as long as they're not trapped or in distress or
no, they're not. Yeah.
Then I'm really not concerned about them.
Wow, you and I on that situation, you and I are totally different people.
Yeah, what would you do?
Oh, I could not. I would go crazy trying to find this other Thomas.
To what end? For what
just
purpose?
Just to know. First of all, to be known that I mean, you are correct. I mean, ultimately, bottom line, it doesn't matter. I'm still living my life and it's, but just to know that I wasn't the one that was born. I was the one created. I was the one made. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, that just means that they took some genetic DNA and then you were also born.
Yeah, but through the means of because they wanted to for the experiment. Yeah. Right. But just to know that, I would view him not just as the prime or whatever you want, and me as the clone, but I would view him as I have a twin brother.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It is very much just having a twin.
Yeah, I would be too curious not to reach out to him.
Again, you said he reaches out just because he wants to let me know, that's fine. Now, if he reaches out and he's and for some reason I believe it, and he's do you want to grab a beer? I'll be yeah, sure, okay.
Oh, so you would meet him in person then?
If he asked me to.
Oh,
but,
okay.
like,
Okay,
I
let's
would
say
not
he
initiate
does.
it. I'd be like, all right, cool, let's have a beer.
See,
But,
even
like,
if he didn't,
I would
for me-
also come armed because I'm ready for this fucker to try and take my identity. Like, let's fucking go, dude. Like, don't even try it.
Yeah.
I love my life. You stay on that side of the table.
Yeah.
No hugs. I don't know you.
Whatever we're eating, it's going to be with a plastic spork and
Yeah.
no knives.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
But see, even if Thomas Prime contacted me and didn't invite me, no, I would definitely try. I would go out of my way to try to meet him.
Yeah.
I would be
Super
too
obvious.
curious. I know.
I'm
That's
too
why-
trapped I'm not trapped. I'm too caught up in my own world all the time, in my own head. I don't have time for other person's bullshit.
Yeah, I just think, it really is. Curiosity is probably going to be the end of me someday.
Right.
So would you tell your family or friends, that you found this information out?
Yeah, I think so. I would feel like everyone would kind of have the right to know, right? Because it's like, I'm imagining in this scenario that, like, my parents' baby got taken away.
Yeah.
And, like, my sister's brother got taken away. They have the right to meet their other family member that they didn't know about, apparently.
That would be a good twist right there. Because I was thinking, no, they probably did it voluntarily for money, right?
Oh, dang.
And so but maybe they didn't know that they cloned you, and then maybe they did it under the guise of something else and gave them back cloned William while they kept William Prime, right? And
so they thought I was the original. So in this world, like, this cloning process is like, you took a thing and you made a copy. I was thinking like some cells got scraped and like and then a new one thing got like gestated.
Yeah, and to be honest, you know what? There's a Fritz fact here. There are 3 types of cloning.
Okay.
One is gene cloning, which creates copies of genes or segments of DNA. The other is reproductive cloning, which creates copies of whole animals. Right. And then the third is therapeutic cloning, which creates embryonic stem cells. So like the reproductive cloning, I think, is what you had in mind. Right. Which is what I would think probably would really happen if this scenario would ever to exist.
Which would inherently make me at least 9 months younger than my
exactly. Yeah, because you would have to gestate, and it would have to be like you're being born.
Exactly.
But in sake of just this question, I just wanted to. Yeah, it's just this how they cloned it was just making a copy of you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have it unless I was looking to have a friend, but I have enough friends. Like, I mean, I'm just good. I'm good. Unless they want to make the effort and it's important to them, then I'd be like, all right, we're genetically we might as well be brothers. I kind of owe you my existence. So I guess like I owe you that courtesy to have a dinner with you and see what's up.
Oh, you mean to like meet with William Prime? Oh, no, okay. But telling family or friends,
I would tell them too.
Oh, you would tell them
they
too.
would have the right to know that like the person who was like their biological actual family member was probably either taken away or something.
You know what? I'm curious.
They have that right.
If you told your sister this, how do you think she would react? Honestly, like I know this would be weird. She'd
be like, what the fuck? Like that would be her. I think she would be weirded out. I could see her panicking and not wanting to meet this person. But I don't know. I can't speak for her. So
I feel like
I'll ask her on Tuesday.
I feel the same way with like my brother. Uh-huh. I feel like my brother would probably wouldn't believe me at first.
Yeah, but we're operating under like that they would.
So after I show them the evidence, I feel like my brother would probably tell me like, hey dude, it doesn't matter, like you're my brother, like I grew up with you, not this other Thomas Prime, you know what I mean? So
Thomas Prime, so it's like the clone.
I know. So like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like he would do that, but I think he would also be like, dude, like find out, like contact him, like let's meet him or whatever.
I think my sister might lean my way and be
really?
no, we don't
like,
know him. Like for all you know, like this could be a scam or a lie. And,
I feel like there's an ongoing theme with our whole podcast where like I'm gonna die soon, and you're probably gonna survive because you're gonna be a hermit. Like you don't want to contact people, you don't want to contact the government. No. You're gonna have a better diet than me.
I'm gonna leave the money, the danger money. I'm gonna leave it by the dumpster.
Leave it. You're gonna have experience with raising Pokemon so that they don't kill you.
Indeed, I am.
So I know that, okay, now that the way you've answered if you wanted to contact him or if you would tell your family and friends, I kind of know what your answer would be on this. would you ever go public or reach out to news and media outlets regarding this experiment that you have evidence of?
No. I'm busy.
That's the reason why it's because I'm busy.
That sounds horrifyingly overly engaging, and like I'd have people like trying to figure out, like, interview me, like come to my door, bug me, call me. Like, no, I'm good.
That's right. You don't want to be on Maury Povich or like any of the talk shows, no?
Yeah, and I don't want to put my family through that either because they're all hermits like me. We're good.
Man, I would do the whole late night circuit. I would go on Jimmy Fallon's late night, Conan O'Brien. Like, okay, so would you research the experiment at least and maybe contact, or maybe not contact, but at least look into these government agencies?
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. That is something I would definitely do. I would try and find every possible bit of evidence I could about this entire process, just to try and understand like who and what I am on the physical science level, not like who I am as a person. That I'm fine with. Like,
you're not having like an existential
crisis.
I'm
not having exactly, but I would like to understand the science that made me.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, we finally agree on something. I would dive into the research of this experiment because of the fact that if they made me, are there more of me out there? You know what I mean? You never know.
Now you're making me not want to do the research.
I know. That would make you not want... See, I have to know because it's just... again, just too curious. And like, why did they do it? Was it just because they wanted to see if they could do it? Or was there a purpose to this? Like, am I all of a sudden going to see the new face of the military and that face is mine and every soldier is me?
Yeah.
Like it's going to be Clone Wars all over again, but I'm the clone now. You know what I mean?
I
like,
can see that. Yeah.
Like, it's just, that would be...
I would be curious if there were others, but like, again... I am busy. I'm only going to spend so much time on this research.
Yeah, I don't know. I just that part of it actually kind of creeps me out. Because,
the idea of a million me's marching upon I don't know, some poor nation.
I know, right?
I mean, it's horrifying.
It's like you're using. You're
using my face.
Yeah, you're using my
genocide.
face. Exactly. Like it's almost like I want to say you're using.
You're misrepresenting me.
But that's what it is. Yeah. They're misrepresenting what I would believe in.
Not all Williams are genocidal maniacs.
Exactly. And imagine the trouble you could be in walking around now, and someone recognizes your face.
There's a William, and then a William becomes like an object name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's one of those Williams.
Yeah. Like, get out of here, you Willie. You know what I mean? Like that's the new derogatory term now. Towards clones. Yeah, like, hey, he said the W word. Like, you know what I mean? That's what it would turn into.
Yeah, I could definitely see that turning into a thing.
Let's go into certain...
Weaponize my face.
Yeah, exactly, right? Okay, let's go into some Fritz facts here.
Okay.
So, the first... excuse me, can't talk here. I'm the imperfect clone. I can't talk. The first study of cloning took place in 1885 when a German scientist, Hans Adolf Edward Dreich, began researching reproduction. In 1902, he was able to create a set of twin salamanders by dividing the embryo into two separate viable embryos.
Okay.
But 1885... That actually shocked me. I did not think anyone would be.
Yeah, I'm not super aware of like the timeline of the sciences and stuff. You know what I mean? So that is a surprising date. It does seem a long time ago. We're talking like barely 20 years after the Civil War. So
yeah, I was kind of like, man, that seems a long time ago.
But then again, this I imagine happened in Europe, based off his name. So nowhere near the Civil War. Civil War had nothing to do with. The society of where this person lived.
Yeah, so. There was no what do they call those Dear John letters, right? From the, like when they
Is that what they're called?
I don't know if that. I think that's what they called.
Of course, the Napoleonic Wars were probably like all up in that area. Not too long before that. So
is that around that time?
Yeah, I believe the Napoleonic Wars were occurring in the early 1800s. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I was like, wow, they 1885, someone was
already making
kind of
clones,
already thinking, yeah,
newts. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so successes in cloning. Scientists have successfully cloned cattle, swine, goats, mice, rats, rabbits, cats, mules, horses, and one dog.
Yeah.
I would love that dog. I would probably be that volunteer scientist who's like, oh yeah, I'll take care of the dog. I'll look after the dog.
I've heard ideas of like people cloning their dog so that when their dog dies, they get their dog back again, which to me is morbid beyond belief.
I know, that's weird.
It's not your dog, and it's not going to be your dog. It's going to be some very, very
just
similar
going to be
dog.
another, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be another dog, but it's just going to look like your other dog.
Yeah,
your older dog.
Which is weird. It's like you want a photocopy of the dog. It's just strange to me.
That is something I didn't think about, but that is weird.
Like,
yeah.
Enjoy a dog for who the dog is and not try and replicate your dog. I don't know.
Yeah. Is cloning humans legal? Not according to the Assisted Human Reproduction Act. The AHR Act is a law enacted by the Parliament of Canada. Its purpose is to regulate assisted human reproduction and related research.
So it's illegal in Canada.
Well, so with this HAR Act, they go on to saying that a lot of like around 60 other countries within the United Nations also adopted this law with their certain variations and exceptions. Like a lot of the countries, they will allow the growing of human tissues for life-saving purposes.
Right.
But for the most part, yeah, cloning like a whole human being, they're saying, yeah, it's illegal.
You're right.
And it is one of the most comprehensive pieces of legislation in the world concerning reproductive technologies and related research.
So they thought about it.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, there's people like that are probably thinking like sooner or later it's going to happen.
Yeah. I wonder if any clones live among us now.
Mm-hmm. Actually, so is it possible to clone humans? Scientists have stated,
of course,
that it is possible.
If we can clone any other animal, then yes.
Yeah, exactly. However, to do so would probably require a lot of money and most likely only be available to the very wealthy.
Right.
So this is something I found when I was doing research on this. This threw me for a loop. On December 27th, 2002, biochemist Brigitte Boisselier, I think is how you pronounce it, she was a biochemist from the company called Clonaid. Okay, so first of all, like you have all these smart scientists, who could do cloning and stuff, and you couldn't come up with a better name than Clonaid.
Scientists are notoriously bad at naming things. It is like a huge part of their community. They're real bad at it.
Yeah, they might as well be like clones are us. You know what I mean? So
Clonex.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, Clonaid was a company that was set up by the Raelian religious sect. And I never heard of the Raelian religious sect.
Me neither.
Well, anyways, in 2002, she held a press conference in Florida announcing the birth of the first human clone called Eve. A year later, Boisselier, I think that's how you say it, has offered no proof that the baby Eve exists, let alone that she is a clone. However, in 2004, they announced another claim that they have successfully cloned 14 humans.
With no paper. Where do they operate from?
I don't. So they were first, actually, I think based in the United States, but when they made that first announcement in 2002, I think shortly before that, they had moved to the Bahamas. Okay. Right? Somewhere outside of the United States jurisdiction.
Why make announcements if you're not going to show proof?
I know, right? Why would you even, I don't know. I feel like...
Maybe it was just their attempt to attract people to their religious order. And be like, yeah, we make clones. Come on over. We'll clone you too. Because that's what you want for some reason.
Yeah, I think that's had to have been what it was about. Because if you're going to do that and then not offer...
It was to be like, oh, look, we got this secret knowledge. Do you want into our secret club so you can have secret knowledge?
Yeah,
which,
exactly.
Believe it or not, attracts a lot of people. So there it is.
Do you think cloning humans should be legal? Do you think it should be made legal?
I can't think of like a reason to allow it. You know what I mean? In just a practical sense. Like, even if you just ignore like the ethical and moral quandary of creating lives like that, even if you just ignore that part, just all the problematic issues it would introduce. Like, why on earth would you allow it? I know, right? Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Let alone the ethical quandary of it all, but like, yeah, and like just the idea that like you could get replaced by a clone at any moment if the technology is right, like. The person that you voted into office might get fucking replaced by a clone who has the opposite points of views and you'll never be able to prove it. Like, You know, just the threat of being cloned to be replaced, like, and that hanging over your head, like, yeah.
Yeah, I agree, because the problem with cloning, if you were able to just clone a full human being, you know what I mean? Like, how that would impact the world, I think there would be too many applications of nefarious,
absolutely,
like, purposes. You know what I mean? Right. Like, you're right, being replaced by having to clone replace someone of a prominent position. You know what I mean? Like, and probably, you know, brainwashed. That clone would probably be like, you know, listening to someone else's ideals, so then this person could influence the world or whoever, you know. Or, you know, or maybe, okay, well, let's make all these clones, and then they're the ones that are just going to be our military. Well, like, is that fair for the clones? Once someone's a clone, they're human beings. They're going to be alive. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, so.
They're an experience, and they experience pain and suffering, and, like, if you're treating them like property, I mean, you're creating slaves, and that's a huge ordeal. Yeah,
so I think cloning should remain illegal.
Yeah, indeed.
But, dude, could you imagine?
I'm walking here.
And now, let's join Will and Tom with the traffic report.
Hey, everybody, it's Will and Tom here with the traffic report. So, we actually had some good feedback here. And we actually had 2 new iTunes reviews.
Woo! iTunes reviews!
I know, right? Both of them 5 stars.
Must like the show because they did what we asked and they left an iTunes review.
Yeah, I know,
so
exactly.
If you're listening to this and you like the show, please leave an iTunes review. It helps so much and it'll get read on the show. Go ahead, Tom.
Exactly. Well, the first one, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. I'm going to give it a try. I think it's Appetizer.
Oh,
actually, the person, I don't know, it says FDYJJVCEER.
I'm not sure if that was supposed to be pronounced at all, but
probably not, okay. But I gave it a try.
Yeah.
They actually wrote "I love this" for the title, and their review says, "This show has exactly the kind of nerdy stuff that I love to hear. I listen every week and will most definitely keep listening."
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for the review.
We do love our nerdy culture, and
yep, indeed.
We love talking about this stuff too. We love hearing back from people on all of our episodes. So if you ever have something that you listen to and it's not the current episode that's out, you can still leave, your comments, leave a review on the iTunes, like Will said, and we love to hear what other people think. This one's a little funny. The next iTunes review is from Tom Wifey, and yes, it's from my wife. However, when William actually told me that we had a couple new iTunes reviews, and when I read this to my wife, I was like, "Oh, babe, did you write this?" And it says, "Always has me laughing." And she writes, "I love this podcast. No, it's not because I'm Tom's wife, but because Tom's questions are so creative and imaginative, and Will's answers are very well thought out and realistic.
Thank you.
I love the chemistry. This podcast always has me laughing and smiling. Proud of my husband and Will, creating some amazing content. P.S. All hail Darth Jar Jar Binks." So the funny part about this was, Will tells me that we got this review. I read this to my wife, go, "Oh, thanks, babe. I didn't know you wrote it." And she tells me, "I didn't write you a review." And I was like, "Are you serious?" She's like, "No, I didn't put one." And I was like, "Oh my God, someone is writing as my wife on here." And she grabs my phone as if she's like, "What?" and everything. And then she starts laughing. And I'm like, "Oh, like, I can't believe you did that to me."
That's hilarious. Thank you for the review.
And we also had some on our YouTube page.
Some comments.
Some comments here. One from Bryant Van Miller. And it says, actually, he comes up with a pretty good question. I think I might pose this at some point in time.
So are you not going to tell me what it is?
Ooh, you know what?
We got a quandary. I mean, you could tell me what it is and then ask it way in the future when I've already forgotten.
Oh, that's definitely probably what I would do anyway. It would be far in the future.
Okay.
Yeah. But I just thought this was interesting. He said, if you two somehow, some way were able to be brought into your own, your favorite fandom, which would it be? Like your own, like universe of your favorite,
Pokemon, easy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the safest one to exist in. With like free healthcare and food, and you get to go on an adventure when you're 10. Anyways, next question. Thanks, Bryant.
Yeah, pretty much you answered that question. So that's... And we actually had one right here on our YouTube page from Brian Roberts. He's commenting on episode 7, well, and it's not Darth
Jar Jar the Conqueror.
Jar Jar the Conqueror. Thank you, Will. He says, as far as Jar Jar being responsible for / involved in Anakin's journey and fall, I can think of something that I've heard mentioned in relation to this theory. Jar Jar can be observed in Episode 1 to disrespect the Jedi in front of Anakin several times.
I mean, he does do that.
Yeah, that is true. It's never really a direct interaction with Anakin, more along the lines of like sticking his tongue out when Qui-Gon turns his back, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Some people think this is Jar Jar planting a seed in Anakin's mind that the Jedi don't deserve respect, making him easier to sway from the Jedi way later.
I mean, that's a cool idea. I think it would need a lot more follow through beyond that. But and we happen to both know that Jar Jar was majorly cut out of the movies 2 and 3.
Yeah,
and he was supposed to have a bigger part, but people hated him too much.
Yeah, so. They also say something about. I remember hearing that he talks a lot with his hands.
He does.
Almost, you know what I mean?
That's a theory I like. I get behind that theory.
That one is definitely weird.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the comment, Brian.
Yes, thank you very much. We always love hearing from you guys. If you guys ever want to say anything, remember you can also leave the iTunes reviews. You can put a comment on YouTube. We also have a Twitter. If you would like to join Twitter, it's at dudecouldyouimagine. So hopefully we'll hear back from you guys.
And that is all we have for you tonight. We will continue to bring you up-to-date coverage as new imaginings develop. Please don't forget to leave an iTunes review, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Remember, you can follow us on YouTube and on Twitter at DCYImagine. And if you would like to contact us or tell us what you are imagining, you can email us at dudecouldyouimagine@gmail.com. This has been Fritz Frivolous, and from all of us here at Dude Could You Imagine, keep on imagining.
I'm fucking starving. And I didn't have my protein shake today. I just wasn't really hungry. So last time I ate was I had some chips and salsa in there, but barely any. And before that, last time I ate was a shake I had before I came to work.